Hey dreamers, this is Jacto Plays, and today we are going to continue with the Cyber Street. And maybe you're already hearing it, but I am using a new microphone. I'm hoping that you're actually hearing the difference. I mean, spent quite some money on it, so I'm still tweaking the audio and the sound. So let me know if you're like the sound better, if this is better. I do have some stuff on in the background, but I like put the settings on at a certain like settings that you're not going to hear much, because like my PlayStation 4 sounds like a jet engine, but you should not really hear it. I hope maybe if I talk you're probably going to maybe to hear it maybe here and there. There's also a fan like blowing towards me because it's pretty hot right now in my house. It's getting summer, so yeah, so that's why I I need to do some stuff to get myself cooled down. So I really hope that you're not going to hear that as much. But today we're just going to continue with the Cyber Street, and I'm not going to do much of an intro. Like, let's just like start straight into it. We're going to start with a new element of scene, and the last time we did the staircase, and today we're going to do something else. Like it is of course part of the Cyber Street, of course, but it's going to be a different prop that we're going to make. And I've been thinking, like, there's so many like different props that I still need to make, and I was not really sure which one I'm going for, but I am going this time for like an air echo. I hope that's also in English, like, but like an air conditioning basically, and so like yeah, and I'm going to place that outside of the building, and that was like maybe come some steam out of it, because like I don't know if we're going to do that, but but something like that. So that's what we're going to make. So let's go straight into it. We're going for the grid snap. Before we continue, always turn off the hover effect. I really don't like the hover effect as much, so let's do it. Let me also put some like a little bit of like music in the background, at least softly, of course. All right. I think I'm going to make it. Do we need mirror for this? Maybe. Maybe I do need mirror. I'm not really sure actually. I think we do maybe need mirror. I also need to know if I need like how big this thing is going to be, because like I'm placing the other creations that we did earlier. Let me see. We need to scroll back a little bit because I've been doing stuff in the meantime. So we need a brick wall, and then we need. I think I need to make a collection of. I think we need to make a collection of this whole thing. But the reason why I'm like placing this in the scene, so I know what kind of size I have to build this on. And we also need the window. Also this, yeah, we can pull the staircase as well again. I don't mind. Maybe also the foundation, and also we need, let me see, I think like in the the next video, I'll promise I will do a collection already from the Cyber Street, because like it's getting a little bit like annoying to find things back at the moment. I don't know where it is. Where did I? We still need the window one. My gosh, where are you? Here it goes. All right. So, whoop. And let me select everything like this. And now we can put the foundation or whatever it's going to call. I don't know what the name actually is for this. And this correctly fits underneath. And we can flip it around so to change a little bit of the way how like that is not like in the representation is of the sculpt. Of course, that's what you always should think of. All right, so I really want to have like the airco at I really want to have like it's somewhere above the building, like maybe above the window here, something like this. Maybe here. I think we're already at a pretty much at a cool at like the right size of this. Like it's going to be somewhere around here. Like it's going to be placed something like this. I assume so. Let me do one more thing. Or maybe not. Wait a minute. I know this is one is not like on 1-1 grid. Okay, now it is. But that is okay. I guess I need to pull wait, what did I do something wrong the other time? Okay, apparently I need to tweak the original file from oh no, I don't. I actually don't. Okay, never mind. They were correct. I only need to make sure that they are like this and not like all right, so now this is how it is. All right, so like this is like the street, right? And now we're going to make this acro, so I'm just going to pull this here. I'll keep the background on. I think maybe give you a little bit more perspective of how it's going to be. So we are going to like build in mirror mode. That's what we're going to do. And the sides, let me just like first like do a little bit of like the side design and a little up. Hey, come on. All right. I'm not really sure like the design yet, but I will figure it out. So, oh, I need. Of course, it's not going to be look clean or anything like that. Like we are just need to, because like it's the 80s, right? So we are, or it doesn't have to be the 80s, but at least like the cyberpunk comes basically from the 80s. But like it's like it's like dirty and stuff, like rusted, and so we're just going to make a very old thing, and maybe we'll pull a little bit like some smoke out of it. Although it's an airco, well, there can still maybe be some condense coming out of the whole thing. Who knows? We will see. Okay, I think I'm going to need bit snap for this again. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Blip, blip, blip. And then stampy, stampy. And then we're going to do the precise move again. So we can tweak that. So we're first going to design a little bit like the parts surround it. And once we have done that, then we can continue sculpting. I will try. Let me think. I can try to do it in one sculpt. But I think I'm doing the roster maybe separate. So the whole box is going to be one sculpt, but the roster itself, that's something that I'm doing in a new sculpt. I think. I mean, like, it doesn't really matter because like it's just like one scenery anyway. And normally I always try to like sculpt in one sculpt, but I think I'm good to do it in 2 parts. I don't need 3 parts. I think I can do the cables. I think I can do the, oh man, no. Okay, how am I going to do this side again? Can I, wait, I have an idea. Let me use clone. But flip it around. That's what we do. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you like my new audio. It's finally here. It took me a little bit to set things up, to be honest. I also have a boom arm. So I first had like the, if you're interested in what type of microphone I have the HyperX Quadcast S. That's the one that I got. I do have a boom arm. The boom arm I bought is Rode. Rode. I think it's called. I think it's pronounced as Rode because it's. I think it's Swedish. But I don't know exactly the name. Like the original name. I think it was Rode A Plus or something like that. At least like it was like also recommended by the people of the HyperX that you should use this one. Some people were like having issues. I saw on internet people were saying that the microphone was too light, but I kind of yeah, I bought it and I put the microphone on it and it stays perfectly in position, so I'm not really having that issue that most people, or not most, but some people had on Reddit. I'm not like experiencing something like that at all. So that's something that's I'm very happy with because those things are not very cheap, to be honest. But I really was like, I need to do some spendings in order to make better content for you guys. And yeah, I mean, that's what I do. It's a little bit like I need to get used of it because like I never had like a big microphone, like a big microphone in front of me. Although it's like it's a little bit more on the side and under my face, so I'm not really. It's not in the way or anything like that. I don't even see the arm in my vision. Well, maybe a little bit on the side. But yeah, so this is my new setup. Let me know if you like it. And if not, then I'm so sorry. But I'm not going back to my gaming headset anymore. That was trash. And also made the setup. I also made the setup that I'm also not wearing any headsets, which I normally always do when I'm like streaming a little bit. But I made the settings just that, so I can still hear audio coming from my computer speakers. So I can listen to music myself, but you're not going, like the microphone is not catching it up. So that's what I did. I kind of like that. So I don't really like to like wear headset or anything like that. But you're probably going to hear maybe some like noises when I am like talking, and you can maybe hear the PlayStation still in the background. I don't know. Like it's like the first time that I not doing testing anymore, but actually, but actually recording for this Sculpt video. I'm a little bit scared. I really hope that the audio is going to be good. Okay, so we have now done the sides. I think that everything looks okay to that, and the rest we can just now do Yeah, I can get rid of this one now because we don't need it. And now I'm just going to make cuttings. I will try, like I said, I will try to make everything in one sculpt, or like most of the thing in one sculpt, except for the roster itself, because I think that still, I think it's better if we make that separately, so we can make that another materia. Normally I'm not doing that like that, but normally I try always to do it in the same sculpt, because that will save me some gameplay. But in this particular case, I don't really need that. And the reason why I'm not really needing this is because it's going to be one particular scene for my Twitch channel. So every time when I'm going live, you're going to see this scene. That's what we're going to do. I'm just now like forming the blah 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 the echo. And actually, let me see. I kind of want to have the music, because there is also a playlist like in the background, but I kind of want to like it's also be hearable from on my end. So it's like monitor and output, so I can hear it a little bit myself as well. At least it should be. I hope a little bit. I can hear it a little bit. All right. Okay, so we did this side. Now we need to do the bottom. Whoop. And the cool thing about mirror is that we don't need to do the other side. That's why you should always sculpt as much as possible in mirror mode if you have the chance to do so. I do need to bring this up a little bit more. So just going to push this a little bit further up. This side as well. I also have like a windscreen on my microphone. Just to avoid a little bit of like not that I'm like a heavy breather or anything, but just like to like, because like, oh, I have like a fan blowing into my direction. I ordered a windscreen on Amazon. I saw one on Amazon that was like especially made for this HyperX, or at least like it's fitting for the HyperX. That so let's say that. Because I want to like bring the best audio experience for you guys. That's what I want to do. And that's what I am going to do. I did move it a little bit, but I'm not sure. Is this still good? I think it's still okay. I like it. Okay, so now we're going to do the middle part. I'm going to yeah, basically cut that out. It's not really the middle part though. We don't need the mirror mode for this, because we're not going to, it's going to be a little bit sideways because they need some cable management happening. So we do it a little bit on the side. And if Dreams let me to stretch it out, thank you. This goes all the way down. Yeah, I'm only going to place this, but I still need to adjust this. And if you're wondering why I'm always working in grid mode, you don't have to. If you're like building something in Dreams, you don't really need to do that yourself, of course. But I'm a big fan of sculpting in grid, because it's so easier to place things. And I kind of like when there's like anything is like unified, like for example like these walls and stuff like that. You can easily just like place it on grid, and you can build building really quickly. That's why I always like building something on grid instead of like, if you're not like building on grid and you have something like this and then you need to do like, oh, I need to place this and then this and need to like find the right place to go in there and like, oh no. So that's like why I always work on grid. Although like I'm not always like, if I like go in cutting mode, I'm not always using grid. It depends. It actually just depends on what it is. Okay, so I need a part for the cables, so we're going to cut that out as well, and it will just be here. I'm going to make it like it look like it's cyberpunky. Let me see. Like an old. This one needs to be a little bit up, and this one needs to be a little bit more to the side. But yeah, I'm really using grid a lot. I'm really grid type of guy, but it depends on the sculpture actually. If it's like furniture or if it's like stuff what I'm doing right now, I use grid. But if I'm like sculpting something that needs to be a little bit more loose, then I'm not using grid, of course. But like furnitures and stuff like this, that I will do. I kind of like this already. I'm only okay. So for example, now we need to make an extra corner. So now we not really are in any need of the grid. So I'm just going to do this manually, but we do need a precise move tool for this. So I can like control this a little bit better. Yeah, I like that. I kind of like that. And let's do that also on the other side a little bit. Like so. And so here is going to be the cables. I will do this in one. I can do this in one sculpt. I don't need to do this in a separate sculpt, especially if it's like such a small prop. You're not going to see this from that close, but still close enough to understand that this is like legit. You're going to see it from very far. There's not going to be any close-ups on this one. I don't really know where should be the cables. I don't know. I'm not really a technician, so probably is not going to be 100% accurate. So if there is like someone making air codes, let me know in the comments as well if I'm doing this correct. Or if there's something that is like, let me see. Okay, so I do have some reference pictures. So if you're curious, if I do it like completely out of my head, not exactly. I do have some reference pictures that I'm looking at. But I always try to go a little bit for my own taste and go a little bit for my own designs. So I'm not like doing one-on-one design clone copy, but a little bit that like I'm always trying to do like that makes sense. Okay, so we need some cables. I'm not really sure if I'm going to use the curve tool for this, if I have to be honest, but it is easier. It is a lot easier to do this. I would I'm not really sure where this cable goes. I'm just going to, I think it's going inside here. And then we need this. No, this needs to, I need this one here. Like so. Place. Yeah, seems okay. And then we need another one. And the bottom. Although this one we need, of course. Oh. We need to manually change the... I cannot wait to paint this. I always like to paint eventually the sculpts. Wait, is there now like 2 points? No, this is fine. I only forgot to add here a connector, but we can do that still later. Doesn't really matter. Okay, that looks good as well. So place. So there are some like now cables going on, but we do still need some cylinders. We do have precise tool. But yeah. No, I'm going to use grid for this again. A little bit easier for me. And then we place this here. And now we can use precise tool to place it a little bit better. Like so. All right. That's the cable part. Yeah. I think this is okay. Looks good to me. We don't really need to build yeah, I mean I can do it for I can still do it though. But we don't really need to build much of the background, to be honest. Because you're not going to see it as much. But we can still do it a little bit. So you can still, like, if you're maybe seeing it from the side, that you still know that like it's still continuing somehow. Okay, we need to bring this lower. Like this. I'm only doing this so like it looks a little bit from the side still that the thing's going on. But I'm not going to like do much on the back. And now we're just going to like decorate the echo itself a little bit. Mirror mode is still off, so that's good. I don't need this one. I'm just going to like designing a little bit more. I can see that like the detail of the sculpt is getting lesser and lesser. I'm not really sure like how much is quality. It's 1% still, so this whole thing is still 1%, so I kind of like that. And from afar, from this distance, it looks sharp, so we not really need to increase it, at least not yet. Maybe we do need it eventually, but at the moment now we don't really need to do that. And now I'm just going to place this here. With some clones. And we need one on this side. I'm going to clone this down. There we go. A little bit of like a decoration. That's not really doing much. It's not really doing much. Okay, so that's it for the airco itself. It looks like a little bit of like an hyperspace like microwave, but it's not, of course. Okay, so now we're going to like build the holders, like the yeah, basically the things that you're like placing against the wall. That's what we're going to build now. I need to know if I'm still doing it in one sculpt or not. I think the best way is to do it still in one sculpt. Saves me a lot of gameplay. If I ever need this prop in another creation in the future, that's why I like to have it. Is this mirror wise the best to do? I think we can do this in mirror mode. I'm going to put the grid a little bit higher up again, and then we need this one here. This is going to be a little tricky. Maybe we can try to use the whole option. And then we need to stretch this one out. Maybe a little bit less, Jacta, like so. Then put into place. Like so. Maybe one sec. We need to place this a little bit better to the surface. Come on. Okay, I think that it's as long as it's not floating. And now I need to cut this one out. With, of course, a non-hole in it. And then we're going to stretch this one out. It's a little bit tricky if you're like doing all your sculpts in one sculpt, because you always need to think ahead of what you want to do next. It's important. All right, so that's it for that. And we can pull something like this. The only problem is that let me see. This is going to be really tricky. I guess so. And then I need to cut this out again. And have this completely against the wait. I think I did something wrong in here. And this one. Yeah, that's better. It is a little bit tricky, but that seems okay to me. So now we also have like some things that can hold the whole thing against so this is going to be placed around here or something like that, with of course all the paintings and stuff like that. All right, so that's it for that. I think we can like do the roster already. I don't think I do need to do much more. I can maybe do a little bit like extra detail, but to be honest, yeah. Are you going to see it? I don't know. Like it's a very small sculpt, or like a very small prop. And even though, well, I'm saying you don't really need too much detail, and I'm still I'm still doing it right now. Yeah, you're not going to see this, so that was really an unnecessary part, to be honest. You're not going to see this if the camera is like here or something like that. Well, the camera is going to be maybe a little bit lower, because I always like low shots in my scenes. If you are familiar with my stuff in Dreams, you will notice one signature that I always do, and that's low shots. I am addictive to low shots. It happened when I did like photography for companies. I always like try to make shots at a certain angle and to make it more interesting. Okay, so now we just need to place it exactly against that. This is fine to me. So something like this. This is how it's going to be. I'm not really sure where I'm going to place this, but something like that. So now I'm just going to clone this one here, and we're going to use the feature of Dreams that has been implemented in the 2.44 update, and that is like the live clone. So we're going to connect these two things. So everything what I'm now going to do, like editing this here, it will also edit on the other thing as well. So that's pretty cool. Sadly, not the rest of the settings, but there's like a trick you can still do it. So yeah, I am thinking, should I need to be honest, I think I can do the roster in the same sculpt. I think I can do the roster in the same sculpt. I think I can do that. We cannot use the mirror mode for this because it's not in the center. But I think I'm going to try it. I'm really going to try it and see if it's going to be too complex for the sculpt itself. I can always do it like a separate sculpt of this, because the whole thing is made out of metal, and so it doesn't really have like a much different material anyway. It's only that we need to paint over it. If we're going to like paint over it, we have like the almost the same like settings on the whole thing. The cables maybe not, like, because like the cables are of course plastic, but if you see it from afar, I think it's totally fine. And if it reflects a little bit, it's fine. I'm not really care that much. It's a small prop. Yeah, so I'm just going to do this instead. I'm just going to bring this a little bit closer. The roster needs to be at the edge of this here. Yeah, that's fine. The only tricky part, what I'm going to do is, because they are very small, and I'm afraid that I need to use a precise move for this. Otherwise it's going to, this is fine. This is fine. Smaller, thinner than that, we shouldn't do. Okay, I can go back to, let's go for 8. All right, so the space in between, I'll go for, I don't know what the space is going to be. Let me zoom out a little bit. Let's see what I'm doing. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that, Dreams. Why is it not showing? Okay, that was super odd. I don't know why it's like it was not showing a clone to me. Now it is. Okay. So around here, but something is not right. I think I need to go lower than, or I need to pull this a little bit. Let me like center this on the grid itself. There you go. I only need to, oh yeah, let me do that right away, by the way. Like blip, blip, blip. And now we can clone. I'll need to zoom out again. Clone this one. Like this. And those are the things that holding the roster together. And now we need this one here. And I'm just going to stretch this one out, and then we can clone that up in the like in the top. I'm just going to use smaller grids because I really want to get as close as possible to the bottom, like so. Yes, yes, yes. And then we can use this one again, and then I'm going to bring this one up all the way up to here, I think. There it is. And that's the roster. Now we only need to like squeeze the roster maybe a little bit, like the things that holding it, putting it a little bit like closer to the surface. Although I'm not really happy with this one here. Maybe okay, let me do this again. I'm not really happy with this. I think maybe we do. Yeah, I would go for third. I'll go for the lowest grid, so I can go a little bit higher. Yeah, that's better. I think that's better. Nah. I'm a little bit nitpicking on this part because, like, I don't really know why I'm actually nitpicking on this, but I kind of want to like do it correctly. Okay, I'm happy with this. Am I? I'm not really sure if I'm actually happy with this, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine. If you see it like this, yeah. I mean, like you're not going to see it from so close anyway. So I am totally fine for this. We're going to squeeze these things a little bit closer now. Now that we know if it allows me to do that. Come on. Like so. And we're doing that on all. It's a little bit tricky. All right, that's it. That's about it, I think. What else can we still do before we're going to... I'm not really sure. Yeah, I think maybe we can do the signs. Side decorating. Meow. I'm not sure if I would keep it like this though. I don't know. Maybe I will keep it like that. All right. I think we are as good as to go. Maybe maybe we can do the backside as well, because like here I mean, like, I never know if I'm actually going to use this for other projects, so I kind of want to like think ahead of it. So if I ever need like, am I in mirror mode? Oh no, I'm not. I rather want to like think ahead of it. So for example, if I need something like this in the future in other projects, then I already have something that I can work with. So I will do the backside as well. A little bit of the decorating. But not too much though. I'm not going to overdo it. And I know I say that quite some. Okay. Actually, no. This doesn't make any sense what I'm now doing. It needs to have a little bit of like, because here's like the main board, the like I don't know, like the computer board basically behind it. But it cannot like stick out too much, because like this is where it's holding things to place. Okay. I think we are done with the shape. I'm not going to do this side also on the other side. I don't like that. Also because the roster itself isn't here, but this is more like a decorating. It's not much of purpose anyway. Yeah, I think that like the shape is done in my tastes. I think we can do the next part. Sadly, not in this video, because I am running out of time. It's like almost 50 minutes into this video, and I always try to keep at least the 1 hour mark. And if I think if I'm going to paint already, I will I will definitely go over the 1 hour. So I will stop from here. I will stop here. But don't worry, the next video is, of course, we're going to like paint the airco, and so we're going to make it rusty and like old and dirty, and I don't know, we're going to make it like it has seen some places and some weather along the way. Maybe I can do something on the top still. I'm not really sure if I want to do on something on the top. I don't know, but we can figure that out in the next video. But I think it was a good choice to do the roster, the roster in one sculpt. So now it's just like one sculpt, and I kind of like that. So if I remove this, yeah, it's 2% quality now because there's a lot of like additional things on the sculpt itself. I think we can still like push this a little bit away from the wall, just like that. That is totally fine. Yeah, it still goes a little bit inside the wall though. Not wall though. There you go. All right. I think that's pretty much it. It's a little bit of nitpicking there, but so that's the airco for our cyber streets. At least the sculpt itself, the painting and everything like that, we're doing that in the next video. I really hope that you like this new like microphone setup. It's a little bit scary because like I don't know how it's going to turn out. I only know if I hear it back, and I don't really like to listen to my own stuff back, so but I really need to now in order to know if the audio is good. But let me also know in the comments, and it's also maybe a good way to see if people actually made it to this far in the comments or in the video as well. Let me know if the audio is good. Let me know if this is something that you like instead of like the audio quality from a potato. I really had a lot of fun to set all this up with the boom arm, with the wind screen, and the microphone settings. It's maybe a little bit sad because like the HyperX Quad-Cos S that I bought has LED light in it, and with the and with the windscreen you're not seeing the LED light anymore. So I put like the windscreen a little bit above so I can still see like a little bit of my LED lights coming through, so I know if the microphone is on or not, because that was like the reason why I bought the LED light version, so I can easily see if I'm not muted or if I'm muted. So but I can still see it a little bit because like it's still shining a little bit through the microphone. So yeah, this is like my new setup. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and in the next video we're going to finish the sculpt. We're going to finish the airco that we just created, as you can see here. Maybe we'll do some steam around it, I don't know, but that's like for later. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, don't forget to dream, everybody. Bye bye.